And hello again, YouTube. It is still Monday, January 24th, 5:11 p.m. I've got an hour to be down to the express bus stop, although I probably want to be there a little sooner than that. It's for GP, because if I miss that, I am definitely late for work. So, just went to the bank, signed the petition to get that ballot initiative off. And I'm coming out of the bank and I noticed this. I forget what street this was, but when the hell did it become Muhammad Ali Way? How did I miss the memo on that? And other question is, what heavyweight punched that street sign so much that it's all cockeyed and the pole is bent? Like wow, just layers of wow going on there. So yeah, I've got an hour to kill. I think I'm gonna walk around, share some of Midtown Phoenix with y'all. I mean, I could hop on the train and go south right now, but I'd get there so quick I'd just be sitting downtown, bored out of my mind. Man, I really don't blame Curaleaf for this, but it's frustrating seeing how many of their bags are just littered in the area directly around them. So if you were watching the last video and caught the end of my last video, I ended it with talking to that woman and signing the ballot initiative, and I thought I should make a video about that. Not that ballot initiative in particular, because to be honest, I just kind of skimmed the paper and I don't know a whole lot about it. It seemed like there were some good things. But to be honest, I'm not 100% sure if I support it, but I am. Oh yeah, that's legit. Muhammad Ali Way. Wow. And City of Phoenix maintenance ends. So I think, even though this looks like a street at this point, it's a private property of the I believe that's St. Joseph's Hospital. Oh, there's even a sign there, 110 West Muhammad Ali Way. I gotta Google that. I don't have any idea when this street was renamed, and I'm assuming it's just this couple blocks right here. I can't imagine the entire... It's really bothering me. I can't remember what the hell the name of this street was, as good as I am with street names. I'm sure a quick look at Google Maps will tell me what it was, because I'm seriously doubtful that they've updated the name of the street. But yeah, once I'm done wandering around and recording this, I'll check Google Maps, and while I'm at it, check the Valley Metro Bus app, since it's built on top of Apple Maps. I got a gut feeling both of those are still going to show the old name of the street. That's the Ryan House. I'm going to assume that's a oh, I forget what the hell it's called. Blah. To be honest, I'm not sure what the Ryan House is. I want to say it's something similar to the Ronald McDonald House, and I can't even remember what the hell those things are called. But basically a place for people to stay when they're have family out of town in hospitals for serious procedures. Actually surprised to see that this whole chunk of street is not maintained by the City of Phoenix and is a private road. So this is still very much functions as a city street right here. Oh, anyway, I was going to talk about the ballot initiative thing. So yeah, I really don't know what all the details on that, and I don't even want to, like, I kind of skimmed over it, and at this point it's already kind of half out of my mind. But oh, and this little stretch here, which has always been a private drive, Mercy Way, the sign has changed since the last time I came this direction. It's a much bigger street sign than used to be there. And I don't think anything actually has a Mercy Way address. That's just the way this has always been labeled as long as I can remember. Anyway, for those who are don't live in Arizona, are unfamiliar with how Arizona political process works, and more importantly, for those of you who are in Arizona and are unfamiliar with how Arizona political process works, one thing that's very unique about Arizona that I really, really like about Arizona, and granted, we're not the only state that has this, but different states have it, and Arizona has it in a way that's, I feel, really effective. Is that we have a thing in our state constitution that makes it possible for literally anyone to put something directly on the ballot in front of voters. So if you're in the state legislature, got a Phoenix City street sign here too, Muhammad Ali Way. That's pretty wild. If there's something that the people of Arizona want done, and the people in the state legislature just can't seem to get it done, because let's face it, the Arizona state legislature has been a revolving cast of idiots for as long as I can remember. and if you think I'm just being bitter, Google Arizona state representative and see some of the articles that come up. I mean, we've had state representatives get pulled over for driving absolutely obscene speeds on the freeways, and then use some sort of weird loophole where they can't get a speeding ticket to justify it. Which, I mean, to me, that's just putting the do as I say, not as I do, rules for thee, not for thee, or rules for thee, not for me shit that everybody hates. And just, yeah, my shoe's untied. Of course it is. Yeah, that just takes that to like a whole nother level. And then there was another guy, I forget his name, Northern Arizona, that, come to find out, was like a convicted serial child molester, and God, and even when that came out, the guy still got a shit ton of votes because, well, at least he's not a Democrat. Really? Okay. I'm not a Democrat either, but my God, I think we should all be able to agree, regardless of what side of the political fence that we're on, that serial child molesters are bad. I think that's something everybody can agree on, except for maybe serial child molesters. Sorry, this got dark fast. Anyway, I was not wanting to talk about that, or even how bad the Arizona State Legislature has a history of being, but anyway, yeah, the ballot initiative, make it possible for literally anybody. I mean, it's very difficult for a single person. It helps if you got a political action group or whatever to back you and do all the stuff that's needed. But it's not necessary. Literally any registered voter in Arizona can put an initiative on the ballot. And if you get enough signatures, and no, I don't know the amount, but it's not an insurmountable threshold. If you get enough signatures, you get enough people like that woman there out taking the time to hustle and do it, it gets on the ballot along with everything else. And the that's nice, Willow Historic Neighborhood. There's some on the back side of it, but and it's nice to actually have things directly go in front of the people. I'll be honest, it's resulted in some legislation that I'm not particularly fond of, but the people voted, and the people made the decision, and it is what it is. I'm gonna go down Edgemont Avenue. It's kind of a historic, this is the Willow Historic Neighborhood. Really nice houses in this area. And this area has been gentrified for quite some time. And, wow, that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. I love that. I wonder if that's actual gas or it's a simulated. Those look like actual gas lights in front of there. I know they make bulbs that simulate it, but that looks legit. That's beautiful too, what they've done with that, where they've taken the last of the paint off it and gone to the naked brick. I love that top patio. I'm being so distracted by the fact that this is actually a remarkably beautiful street that I'm can't even focus on talking about ballot initiatives. Anyway, so yeah, the ballot initiative thing is it's nice to see things get in front of the people, and sometimes it passes and sometimes it doesn't. But a lot of things have changed, some for the worse, but many things for the better in Arizona, because the people through the ballot initiative system have basically been like, you know what, we can't wait. We can't wait for the state legislature to argue about this or decide that, yeah, this isn't important enough to us. We're not doing anything about it. We the citizens of Arizona, we're just going to do it ourselves. That's one big ass cat. Holy crap. I mean, that's how Arizona got medicinal marijuana. That's how Arizona got legal recreational marijuana. Now, it took getting on the ballot twice for it to happen, but it passed with a pretty solid majority this last time around. There's been a lot of things, and I don't really want to go on it, but what I do want to say is that even if, now believe me, if this thing that I just signed the petition for, if it hits the ballot, I'm going to scrutinize it pretty well. I'll probably read the actual, I'm the kind of guy that will read the actual text of the proposition, and I'll make my decision then. But another renovation going on here. I'll make my decision then, but I unless it's something I am absolutely strongly opposed on, I'll say, hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty good. It's beautiful out today.
Huh?
It's so beautiful out today. Oh, look, it's another Saturn. I miss my Saturn. Anyway, yeah, if it was, I love these kind of brick driveways. That's gorgeous. Nice little historic house too. I'm glad that they left that one in its historic, little bungalow configuration as opposed to turning it into a McMansion, because so many people attempted to do that. Now, this is what they've done with a lot of this neighborhood. They've capped it off. And it's still a fire lane. It's trusting to get through. Fire department access here, and the sidewalks go through, so it's pedestrian access. But it's cut off from all the through traffic coming out of all the Midtown office towers. And here we have First Avenue, and this piece of First Avenue, this was put in, I want to say in the 1980s, memory serves, to try to and what the hell, I'll walk down this so y'all can kind of see how this was done. It's the kind of city planning shit that just fascinates the shit out of me. It probably bores most people that watch my vlogs, but yeah, so this was a project that was done in the, I want to say in the 80s, to kind of protect the historic neighborhood from the encroaching, all the new towers and development and traffic that was bringing with it on Central, by giving those streets that still connect to Central another street, this here First Avenue, to interestingly enough, the alleys go through, to go on and to leave everything accessible to pedestrians in the neighborhood to live on in these residential streets, but not have not have every random rando having Waze tell them to go down the driveway. Not that Waze was a factor in the 1980s when this road was built. Pretty sure it was built in the 80s, but you get what I mean. And I'm not sure what street that is, but same kind of concept, except for that one doesn't have a fire lane entrance, I don't see, but it does have a pedestrian entrance. Wow, that one looks like it was actually done by a private citizen, because it doesn't have a proper sidewalk or a wheelchair ramp on it like the one I was on did. Or maybe not. Take a look at this. Yeah, this screams non-compliant afterthought. Oh yeah, that was definitely a cut. That was definitely a cut in the wall. I think this was done by somebody who actually lives here. Emergency vehicle turnaround. Yeah, they tried to cut this one off. And yeah, should be a wheelchair ramp here, but anyway. I'm a little disappointed they didn't put a sidewalk on the west side of the road. Anyway, so I'm sorry, I'm talking about like 3 subjects at once. I can be hard to follow. That's kind of how my brain is. But so anyway, I typically will, unless I'm very strongly opposed to it, I'll pretty much sign any petition for a ballot initiative, just to give it a chance, just to give the citizens of Arizona a chance to vote on whatever it is. You know, when that, if and when that one that I signed the petition on now gets on the ballot, and I look at it and it just doesn't look like something I can get behind, I can always vote no on it. And maybe it'll pass because other people think people should vote yes on it. And here's another street. This is another one, private drive, Cambridge. Sure doesn't look like a private drive, straight up looks like a city street, but apparently this is owned by whoever owns the property with the towers adjacent to it. And looks like we're doing some major development going on here. Boop. In front of that guy. Like the way this is going in. We're doing the cul-de-sac and the sidewalk connecting to it. Again, keeping the traffic out of the residential streets of the busy office towers, but still leaving the people here, leaving everything accessible. The Willow Residences. Residences at Willow. This is probably going to be a big townhouse. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be big townhouses. Which means that a whole bunch of historic houses have been bulldozed for, of course, the sidewalk's going to say 2021. This is just built. Yeah, it means a bunch of historic single-family homes have been raised for higher density. I don't know. I guess it's progress. I know a lot of people that lean towards urbanization and pedestrian infrastructure, and I'm all for pedestrian infrastructure. I really am. That's a big deal to me. But it makes me sad to see historic houses bulldozed to make townhouses and high-rises. I mean, I'd much rather see the Arizona Democrat headquarters bulldozed to make a residential high-rise. And so that is Virginia Street. That's the quarter-mile street. That's so I've explained before. Phoenix is set up in square miles, major street, every square mile, every mile, in line with the USGS survey maps. But then at every half mile there's like a minor street that goes through, and generally speaking at every quarter mile there's another minor street that also goes through, and that's what Virginia is. It is the one between Oak and Thomas, or Encano and Thomas, depending on what side of Central you're on. And I'm actually on the Encano side. Now this is interesting. Here we got poles looks to me like there used to be parking meters here and they've been recently removed, or at least at some point in time removed. Parking meters on the other side. I have not walked down this street in a long time. Enjoying the walk. Hope y'all enjoying taking it with me. So yeah, we got a little bit of public space here and some storm drain space here, which of course was added, you know, when this piece of First Avenue was put in. Wilshire Drive. This is another interesting, where the pedestrian goes through for pedestrians, not for cars. It looks like we got another turnaround for emergency vehicles. That one's got a hard curb though. I guess sometimes you do what you got to do to stop private vehicles for using stuff that's specifically for emergency vehicles and generally speaking for fire trucks. This one's kind of different. On this side, the curb and the gutter goes completely through, but the street doesn't. That's a gorgeous house right there. Oh, to have had my shit together in the 90s enough to have bought one of these houses. If I'd have only known what was going to become of these neighborhoods then, because in the 1980s and 1990s, this wasn't exactly a slum, but it wasn't particularly nice either. Yeah. These two here got to deal with the fact that they're on a busier street, but still pretty damn cool. Love the old red reclaimed brick. I had a lot of that in my around, actually on the back side of my house in Tucson. The backyard came with a whole bunch of old reclaimed brick and some pathways that were in poor repair, and I fixed them up, rearranged them. Really do miss owning a house. Don't know if that's still in my future, and especially not in Arizona, but I often look at the numbers, I think about it a lot, and you know, my roots to Phoenix are pretty damn strong, but there are a lot of things I see going on here that I don't like, and sometimes I wonder, you know, hey, do I really want to? Is this where I want to spend the rest of my life after spending so much of my life here? And I can honestly answer that with an I don't know. Oh, IHOP is closed. Oh, that makes me sad. And this is a relocated IHOP, by the way. There's like an original A-frame IHOP building just about a quarter mile to the north of here. I want to say this one was built in the 1990s. Wow. I remember eating here with my daughter Lily not that long ago. I mean, it's been a while. She's been missing for going on almost 2 years. But not even that many years ago. I remember we came in here for one of their unlimited pancake deals. All kinds of specials. And Lily loves pancakes, or at least she did. That makes me sad, because I'm sure this is going to end up being replaced with, whoa, electric scooter, hauling balls. I did not see what kind of electric scooter that was. That guy is totally keeping pace with traffic. Wow. And here we got 2 bicycles riding on the sidewalk, because the way the city of Phoenix has handled this stretch of Central Avenue for bikes is they've gone with the share the lane approach, and there is signage in Charos indicating that the right lane is to be shared with bicycles, but yeah, motorists on the street don't like to share it with bicycles. They probably don't like sharing it with that scooter either, but that scooter's going just as fast as they are. So that was awesome. And I really don't know what the laws are about scooters that go that fast on the road here. I want to say that there aren't any, and hopefully that guy doesn't upset enough people that changes. All right, I'm at Vernon Street, and actually did a video once. Ooh, I just walked into a tree. Tell me. I did a video, I want to say maybe about 3 weeks ago-ish, where I went down that stretch of Vernon over to 3rd Street, because there's a, as you see from that woman walking off right there, walking against the don't walk sign, because why the hell not, from that light rail station. And look, there's a grid bike dock, not in use at all, because grid bikes fucking suck. About 3 weeks ago, I as a different route to get to the my LifeWell mental health clinic. I got off at that Encano light rail station and walked over to 3rd Street and took Vernon. It was a hell of a scenic walk. A lot of beautiful houses on that as well. There's another mixed use one, like a modern mixed use development. And as you see, the bulk, the office on the corner is a real estate agent in a whole lot of vacancies here. It's not all vacant though. There's a nail salon there. Oh no, no, a nail salon, my bad. A nail salon failed in that location. Well, I've never seen these before. Community Walgreens Pharmacy. I wonder when that became a thing. I've never seen standalone Walgreens pharmacies before. Wonder how out of the loop I am on those. That's pretty neat. Good to know that exists. I think I have all my prescriptions at this point going to a nice ice cream parlor. That's pretty badass. And there was a cafe that failed in that location. Kind of sad. Well, at least this one isn't like some of the other mixed-use developments I've seen, which is just a bunch of empty locations that have clearly never had any businesses in them. At least some things are doing okay here. Although some things have died. Sheaf Company. Oh, it looked to me like this place didn't die as much as it downsized. And then Edward Jones Investment Office, that makes sense. So this is in Cano, which doesn't go through to the east. If it did, it would be Oak Street, but to the east here is the Heard Museum. I think Oak Street starts at 3rd Street, which is a quarter-mile over. There's the Intertribal Council of Arizona. Used to have a much more decorative sign here. It's kind of a neat building though. I often wonder how much longer this building will be here, just because there's so much demand for that. And as nice as that looks, and as much as people love those, I'm sure that's all just wood. A bunch of sticks underneath there. It's probably not very well built. Don't hold me to that. I do see some that aren't built like that, but the majority of them are. I dig this older style architecture. That's just so very Phoenix. And so much of that is disappearing in favor of the generic mixed-use stuff that I just walked by. I probably better check the time. It is 5:40 p.m. I still got plenty of time. And I'm shooting at 720p, so I still got plenty of space. Training to you, learning to advance. I have no idea what that is. And there goes the train, which means the next train is probably going to be in 15 minutes. And I probably need to get my ass on the next train. Here's an office, government office I remember well. City of Phoenix Family Advocacy Center. I almost forgot that place exists. Now they got a program called Child Help. Get some footage of this. I'm on Cypress Street, which looks like it goes through all the way as opposed to being capped off like a lot of Willow neighborhood streets are. It looks like they've removed the parking meters on this. replaced it with a sign limiting it to 2 hours parking during business hours. I got to give the City of Phoenix props for at least being smart enough to leave the poles there should they decide that it's worthwhile putting parking meters back here. Child Hope, dedicated to Linda Pope. Who painted this? Oh, this used to be just very drab and gray when I used to regularly come to this office. And I don't know if I want to get into that story because it's kind of personal and kind of depressing, and I'm having a really nice day and enjoying this walk. But I'm thinking that's just a fancy name for the, I could be wrong, but I want to say that's just a fancy name for the City of Phoenix Child Advocacy Center, or Family Advocacy Center. But basically, this is where the detectives, the special detectives, that doesn't look like it goes through, where the detectives are that look at custodial interference cases and things of that nature. And when I went through my divorce, and I've talked a little bit about my divorce. I used to really like talking about it to the point nobody wanted to listen to me, but I'm so fond of talking about it these days. That's interesting that they put these little fences up here to better protect the trees. I like that. That's nice. Yeah, my divorce is the sort of thing I should really write a book about, because it was pretty crazy. It makes movies like Kramer versus Kramer seem like a amicable split, but yeah, God, ex-wife just put me through the ringer so hard, and the most tragic thing, of course, is how much she separated from my daughter, who at the time was just absolutely my world, and still kind of is, even though she's so far away. It's kind of funny. We chat on Snapchat at some of the most ridiculous times of the night. I love that we finally are at a point where I can send her the most stupid picture or message at 4 a.m, and if she's awake, she'll generally answer me. And she sends me just her random idle thoughts at whenever. So, that's means the world to me. But God, when she was a baby, I mean, just to have her taken away by my ex-wife and then have the system just kind of reinforce that, and so much bias in the system of, ooh, dad, bad, dad, bad. Oh, it says here that you're a threat. It says I'm there because she wrote that I'm a threat. There's never been any evidence of that. Well, this is neat. I don't know that I've ever noticed this before. We got like a whole below ground plaza going on down here, with tables, and it's not exactly public space, but it's nice outdoor space. I like it. I'm going to read those signs very clearly. Credit union, athletic club. Now this is, of all the developments that have gone in, residential developments, I dig this one. And it's just freaking cool architecture. It is very much brick. It very much looks like a castle. It's very much out of my budget. And even if it wasn't, yeah, I'd still rather own a single family house. But I gotta admit, this is freaking cool. Anyway, so long story short, because that's not what I'm trying to make this video about. After going through so much just utter hell, private residence, so much utter hell to, oh, this is Palm Lane. This is the next quarter-mile street, by the way. Any questions why this is called Palm Lane? Give you three guesses. that view of Palm Lake. So yeah, she oh, that fountain's got the ions going from all the splashing water from that fountain over there. That's nice. That's real nice. You know, I don't take the time to walk through this area nearly enough. This is really cool. It's really nice through here. Oh, this is a bus stop, I'm assuming for the Zero. Yeah, so I it's a long story, I don't want to get into all of it, but I went through so much fighting for access, for just reasonable access. Not trying to take my daughter away from her mom, but just for a reasonable level of access that any divorced father should have with their child, and any child should have with their father. And eventually I got something that was pretty decent. I got 3 days a week. Not quite what I was looking for, and I was still fighting for more at the time, but 3 days a week was really good. It's certainly a lot better than the every other weekend and Wednesday afternoon that so many very fit and capable and loving custodial fathers get. And it's just a matter of course. Hey, and there's one of those Charos. There's that's the bike lane. See, it's really a bike lane. It's you're taking life in your hands if you ride a bike in it. Anyway, yeah, the Flynn Foundation. That is a cool ass looking building. I got that 3 days a week, and I felt like it wasn't what I was hoping for. I still at that point felt really cheated. A lot of that was to do with like how my property was handled by the court, and that's a whole separate tragedy. But yeah, she got the gold mine and I got the shaft. Sorry, the DJ part of my head never gets completely shut off. Especially the DJ part of my head that just wants to play old redneck country. Wow, it looks like the Phoenix Opera House is shut down. I'm sure that's shut down temporarily for COVID. I don't know. Yeah, this don't look good. Yikes. Oh man, I hope, I'm not a fan of opera in the slightest, but I don't want to see the arts go away. None of it. I hope this is not permanently shut down, because that boarded up marquee sign is that's not a good. That sign is not a good sign. Yeah, and here we have more overpriced pack and stack fancy facade on something just made out of sticks apartments. Just yuck. Just big fat yuck. Anyway, sorry I can't seem to focus on anything today. It's so much on my mind. And gotta get ready to just kick it all out and be a robot for Amazon for 10 hours. But yeah, when waxing, I got something you can wax. I'd like to have them smooth as eggs. Oh, that's pretty badass. That is a really cool bike rack that nobody would ever want to put their bike on. PHX. Hell yeah. Dog was very excited. Yeah, so I got my custody order, and I wasn't what I wanted, but it was a lot better than the average non-custodial dad gets. And considering that I was up against homelessness, and oh look, he's a convicted felon, and oh look at more Arizona, very aggressively Arizona bike racks, awesome. You know, it was up against that, and then a recent stay of being committed to a mental institution. I mean, I had everything in the deck stacked against me. And let's not forget, I was representing myself, and she had a lawyer, so there was that. And all that on top of the obvious disadvantage of me being a father and her being a mother. And oh shit, I gotta cut this short because there's my brain. Super long story short, she wouldn't let me see my kid. I had to get the police involved, and I spent a lot of time talking with detectives at the building. Thanks for coming along on the journey.